has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast. It's Ferrall on the bench, coast to coast, in the biggest way possible, hanging out the bad seed, a broken day, the bad apple with a bad attitude, hanging around a bunch of bad, and bad tape, bad law, bad do, bad breath, bad attention, bad vibes. We are live in the Magic City studios in the Ferrall Palatial, right across the river to the woods from where Granny loves her hybrid bubblegum cushy kush in New York City. The Big Apple. People dressed in plastic bags, directing Travis, some kind of fashion shake-up to do, but all my finna come around, fashion flutter, party up, rats on the west side, bedbugs uptown with the best of tats and tat, my brain splattered all over Manhattan, shadoobie, shake it, ooh. It's only rock and roll, but I like it, yes I do, but I like it. Hey, what's gigging? I'm Ferrall, along with your boy Carver. Hi, this afternoon. Mafia is running it along with Hayden Fry at LTN in Kansas City Mo, the birthday roll call on a Thirsty Thursday. Jared Butler, 22. Tyler Johnson of the Bucks, 24. Terrell Lewis, Rams, 24. Chris Levert, 28. Max Muncy, 32. Dexter McCluster, 33. Justin Upton, 35. Logan Morrison, 35. Adam Warren, 35. Pedro Feliciano, 46. Damon Jones, 46. Gary Matthews, 48. Marvin Harrison, badass legend, 50. Hitting the back nine. Robert Ory, 52. Doug Glanville, 52. Albert Bell, 56. Cornelius Bennett, 57. Bob Meacham, 62, and Raleigh Fingers, Hall of Famer, legend, 76. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. All right, we got Dayball getting ready to go. Cleveland and Seattle. We got our eyes on everything else. The last time I checked, Rays up 5-1 in the sixth on the Angels. Cardinals 3-1 on the Cubs. They're in a second. We'll keep those updated for you. Cleveland beat the Padres 7-0 yesterday. It was my number one play of the day with Quantrill getting it done in San Diego against Snell. Jose Ramirez came up big. Nats beat the Marlins 3-1. Julio time is 20th. George Kirby, how about this guy? 24 straight strikes to start the game, a baseball record. Rays beat the Angels in 11, 4-3. They walk it off. Cubs beat the Cardinals 7-1. And Paul Goldschmidt, how about this guy? Does he have a shot at the Triple Crown? Astros beat the Twins 5-3. Trey Mancini going off. Dodgers beat the Brewers 12-6. Cody Bellinger getting involved. We got Warren Sharp, our NFL lead analyst, on today's C2C. Plus, Cody Decker, our good friend from BetMGM and the host of Big Time Baseball. So we'll talk to him from Los Angeles. Phillies beat the Reds 7-5. Real Muto with a shot. I think we sprinkled some salt on that one yesterday, unless I'm crazy. Phillies, looks like they'll have Bryce Harper back by tomorrow. White Sox beat the O's 5-3. Gavin Sheets, a 2-run single. Jays over the Red Sox 3-2 and 10. Springer with a go-ahead double in the 10th. Royals beat the D-backs 5-3. Braves all over the Bucks 14-2. Matt Olson splash city into the Allegheny with a grand slam. Tigers beat the Giants 6-1. That ruined some tickets. Rangers all over the Rockies 16-4. How about that game at Coors? They did go over the 18 Carver High. A's beat the Marlins in 10, 3-2. We got your MLB props, taters, strikeouts, game props, plus the sportsbook consigliere. Your boy Dave Sharapan joins us from Las Vegas today. Send it to Mac at a hub. And we'll break down tonight's game, see what he thinks in those and what I think in those, try to make you some money. Nestor Cortez going on the IL with a little groin problem. Zach Britton is back. Britton has been out for a year after Tommy John. He's going to rehab, and he's ready to go almost. We'll look at all the standings and power rankings in baseball. We'll do today in Carver High history as well. Plus, the NFL preseason kicks off tonight, the final week. And all the games begin with Green Bay and Kansas City, San Francisco and Houston tonight. We'll break those down for you. Welcome all of our radio affiliates. Sirius XM Channel 159, our satellite home, Sports Map Radio, and Sports Byline USA, Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio in San Diego. Near Tijuana, do you wanna? Cowboys Tyron Smith is done for months with a torn hammy. Jerry Jones says Gallup won't start the year on the pup. He'll be able to play, might miss the opener. Trubisky believes he's the starter. Brissett isn't Deshaun. We'll hear from Jacoby. Tua's talking today on C2C. Are they serious? They might trade Gesicki in Miami, and the Dolphins cancel their joint practice with the Eagles today. A bunch of guys on the team got the indigestion diarrhea. That just worked perfectly, didn't it? Tom Brady will play in the Bucs preseason finale this week. Josh Allen will not play for the Bills. Jalen Ramsey talking, plus famous Jameis on today's C2C. Getting better every day. He's had every injury known to man, knees, feet, ankles, you name it. We'll hear from Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels, Mac Hollins of the Raiders. He has big goals. Giants wide receiver Colin Johnson tears his Achilles. Ouch, he's done. FedEx Field got some nice ratings. Most bet team to win each division. We'll get into that today as well. Chet Holmgren, done for the year with the Liz Frank. We told you yesterday it'll be a Liz Frank injury and he'll be out for the season. And it happened. He broke it in that Pro-Am in Seattle. Hey, what they should do is play more Pro-Am games in the offseason, your number one draft pick. See if we can blow out a knee maybe next year. We'll talk about the odds now for Rookie of the Year. The Lakers get Patrick Beverley in a trade. We'll talk about that in the Tour Championship, the U.S. Open. No Joker in New York this year. It's time to roll because it's Coast to Coast.
Sports Grid, your 24/7 sports wagering network.
They play less games.
The early line.
Take a look at the top four seeds here in the Big Ten. They're going to play less.
Aaron Rodgers and
the morning
Russell
after.
Wilson. We saw movement in the marketplace like
Orlando
Fantasy
Magic.
Sports
the Cleveland
Today.
Cavaliers are a little thin as well.
Newswire.
Minus 160 favorite on the money line today for Arizona.
Ferrall Coast to
CBG,
Coast.
that's where they win cups. They win Stanley Cups over there. Give me the
Game
Penguins.
time
kind of
decisions.
bizarre when you consider everybody is out for the Warriors.
In-game live
I
all
like
access.
I like Vandy against Bama. I think Vandy can win the game, take a 4.5.
In-game
or win.
live. Prime time.
The PGA champion.
In-game live.
All
Overtime.
done before the final bet.
Get the winning edge. Only on Sports Grid.
Maurice Allen, 2015-2016 European Long Drive Tour champion, 2017 world number one. Me personally, I keep my game face on me all the time. Especially coming out of the bunker, leaving the range, or even leaving the course. What's your story?
The early line.
They sent out a Jordan Montgomery, who evidently is the best pitcher in baseball. I know it's the Cubs. I don't care. A complete game one-hitter.
And how about this, too, on the road in Chicago at Wrigley against one of your hated rivals here. Now, we know the Chicago Cubs aren't having a great season by any stretch at 52-69, but isn't these are the type of wins that you need.
Only on Sports Grid. Fantasy Sports Today.
Now, at tight end, Mo Alley Cox Davis is one of those, I feel like over the course of 17 games, I'm going to be doing a show with you, or I'm going to watch a show somewhere else, and someone's going to tell him this is the week at DFS to play Mo Alley Cox.
I think the thorn in his side, though, is going to be the tight end that they drafted in the third round this year to kind of take up some of those Jack Doyle snaps, who is Jelani Woods.
The Sports Grid Network.
There's no better feeling than a win, except a BetMGM win. Goodbye. Woo! That one hurt good. You feel that? Yeah! Now you're winning with the king of sports books. Come on.
You know, I'm in cahoots with BetMGM to provide the community with as much cash as possible for all the citizenry. So what I've done is I've got them going on baseball. You just get the app, you bet $10 on any game, and we're going to give you 200 clams if either team hits a home run. And that happens just about every game. So it's like, here, have some money. You know what I mean? It's like, here, let me just give you some money. Use the bonus code MLBHR2022. Always trying to do outreach work, Carver High, in the community.
Yes, you are, and you do a good job of it. Of course, that is a great deal. Get out there. There's plenty of games tonight to get yourself set up for a little tater time and get your $200 from BetMGM. All right, we have a lot to do today on Coast to Coast, Scotty. Let's start with some afternoon day ball. I'm going to get you caught up on what's going on right now. First, though, let's get your pick for the other afternoon game, which will be up in Seattle within the hour as the Guardians come to town, Scotty. 4 games between the Guardians and the Mariners this weekend. It's Ichiro weekend in Seattle up at Safeco, just so you know. And not only that, this is big. These two teams would face each other if the playoffs started today in the wild card round. So Cleveland and Seattle would. We are going to have McKenzie against Gonzalez today, Scotty, to kick things off in this series. Cleveland minus 115, Mariners minus 105, total of 8 to get this series going.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with Gonzalez here with the junk mail, and I'm going to go under, even though it smells like an over. I think McKenzie and Gonzalez today put on a show in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, yesterday I gave you Quantrill and Cleveland as my top snag, and today I'm going to go against the Guards and stick with Seattle. I love the way they play. I love the way they play in that building. And I think they're good to go. I'll take a shot with Gonzalez. McKenzie's been better, but they both have done, tons of work. I think over 140 innings for McKenzie, over 130 plus innings for Gonzalez. So both of these guys can pitch, and that's a tough Seattle team to beat in Seattle. Let's see if the Guards can do it today or this weekend up there. I'm going to stick with Seattle today.
And you mentioned Cleveland does come in flying pretty high. They took 2 games in San Diego from the Padres, Scotty. In fact, they have now opened up a 4-game lead in the AL Central over both the Twins and the White Sox. They've pushed them both to 4 games back in that division as we've hit late August. Yesterday in San Diego, Jose Ramirez, not once, but twice on Bally Sports Cleveland.
4th inning, Jose Ramirez accounting for the only run with his 24th homer of the season with 2 outs in the 1st inning. That's clubbed. Deep left center field. It's in the alley, and it is out of here. Jose Ramirez 2 for 2 with 2 solo home runs, and it's 2-0 Guardians.
I won't deny that they're playing good baseball either. They could very well win today. And look, the bottom line is this team can hit. They can do everything. And, so can Seattle. And if that's a playoff matchup, I think it's going to be a really good series. So who knows? I mean, they're tough. One thing I wanted to say about Cleveland's lead is that Minnesota's playing such terrible ball right now, all of a sudden losing, I think, 3 in a row. And then they lose Buxton. So this could be a piece of their pie that determines their fate the rest of the way. You lose this guy now, cog in their lineup, defensively their best player. He's out, and they're not playing well, and they're losing. I mean, Cleveland might run away with this thing because we all know the White Sox are pikers.
That is for sure. We know that. The Mariners are coming in off a loss. They lost to Washington at home yesterday, 3-1. Julio Rodriguez did hit his 20th homer, joins the 2020 club as a rookie, Scotty. And your boy, Kirby's Dreamland, George Kirby, started the game with 24 straight strikes, a Major League Baseball record. Did not throw a ball till his 25th pitch. But as we always like to say, Scotty, yeah, too bad you lost. Yeah, too bad.
Well, the old, Miller thought was work quickly, change speeds, and throw strikes. And the guy throwing 24 straight strikes, that's a way to get it done. Just throw strikes and let guys knock it into play or, sometimes knock it over the wall and beat you. But guys that throw strikes and can hit the corners are generally very effective in their one-loss record, their ERA, and their innings worked. When you just throw strikes, you don't throw tons of pitches. You're not out there struggling every inning and suffering like that Schmidt guy did the other night with the Yankees. Yeah. He was in there trying to get that 10th out for about an hour. The guy looks like he was going to drop dead, and every single guy walked. He had 0-2 on everybody, and he still walked all of them. He's a bum.
He's a good pitcher. They left him in too long. That kid can pitch. They left him in too long. Should have never been out there to try to get that many outs. He'll help out down the stretch, I'm sure of it. We have two other games going on this afternoon. The Rays, Scotty, are going for 6 in a row and a 4-game sweep of the Angels down at the Trop. They are up 5-1 right now in the 7th. Kind of doing it the way they always do it, Scotty. Single here, bunt there, error here, another single. Never flashy for Tampa, but they score a whole lot of runs. Kind of the way they walked off the Angels in the 11th inning last night, too, on Bally Sports Florida.
And a chopper right side. There will be a play at the plate. The throw is bad, and the Rays win it. Ramirez scores the winning run. And in 11th, the Rays win this game 4-3.
So what'll they be, 7 back now with this half piece today?
Yeah, they would get to 7. Yankees can then push it back, of course, since they play later tonight. They would be able to match them out in Oakland against the Athletics. But Rays are playing very good baseball right now. They are getting timely hitting. They are getting the other team. They're doing all the things the Rays have done the last few years. They didn't do them the first 3.5 months of this season. But Ray baseball, Scotty, unfortunately for the Yanks, has been back as of late and the rest of the American League. Also this afternoon, Cardinals and the Cubs finishing off the 5-gamer out at Wrigley. Right now, 3-1 Cards, bottom of the 3rd. They scored 3 runs in the first inning today, Scotty. Last night, Cubs beat the Cardinals 7-1. The immortal Zach McKinstry getting his first Cub homer on Marquee to seal it.
In the air, down the right field line. If it's fair, that one is hit well and gone. Zach McKinstry just snuck it inside the pole. His first homer as a Cub in Wrigley, and his second of the year.
After being really quiet after that 3-run second, McKinstry comes through in a big way to provide a little cushion here as we head into the late stages of this ball game.
Now let's go down to the field and talk to Joe Girardi by the dugout.
Joe, I think this is his first weekend coming up here on Marquee for the Cubbies. So Joe back in the mix. Goldschmidt, Scotty, you sent me this. Has a shot at the Triple Crown. He's first in average, 335. Second in home runs with 31. Only 2 back of first. Second in RBIs with 100. Only 3 back of first. Goldschmidt, you don't really realize it. He could definitely win the Triple Crown this year. He could,
and I think the MVP is a done deal now. We thought it'd be Austin Riley, and that's not happening. Goldschmidt, they've already got his name on the team.
Your racing. The clock's running out. It all comes down to this. We're talking pregame. Pregame, pregame. Get locked in with Game Time Decisions. Your hosts, Gabe Morency and Cam Stewart, will get you ready for game time. Everything you need to know before a game goes off the board, with the bet slips to back it up. Make your best bet with live odds updates, late breaking news, up-to-the-minute injury reports, and real-time analytics from inside the sportsbooks. All the odds, all the action, from sports wagering insiders and industry pros like Donnie Rightside, Cam Lou, Cousin Sal, the Pro Football Doc, Dr. David Chow, and more. Get the winning edge every weekday afternoon from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern, 3 to 4 Pacific. It's Game Time Decisions. Only on Sports Grid.
Maurice Allen, 2015-2016 European Long Drive Tour champion, 2017 world number 1. Me personally, I keep my game face on me all the time. Especially coming out of the bunker, leaving the range, or even leaving the course. What's your story?
Fantasy Sports Today.
The running back that appears to make the biggest jump maybe in the last 2 months, maybe in all of fantasy, honestly, Davis, is Dameon Pierce, who played for the University of Florida. And the beef that went on at Florida, Davis, is that people wanted to see him get the ball more. He really was never a primary running back at Florida. He's sort of a throwback guy in the sense that you give him the ball, he's never going to lose yards.
The Sports Grid Network. The morning after.
What was your reaction to the Yankees taking Game 1 of the Subway Series last night, even up against Max Scherzer?
You know, let's work backwards. Started with Jonathan Loaizaga. They need to kind of piece together the closer situation. That was the thing that struck me. Of course, we can talk about Aaron Judge and, homer number 47 and all that cool stuff, but I want to talk about the setup guy that was having a down year that might turn into the closer down the stretch, because that's what, baseball is, right? It's all about the boring stuff.
The Sports Grid Network. The early line.
This non-story is officially over. Tom Brady went away. Why? Because he can. He's Tom Brady. His wife, very publicly, has wanted him to retire. He did, and then he unretired. So, in a meaningless week of practice, he went out and was able to spend some time with his family. Make sure that everything is good. It was reported to be a work-life balance. It was reported that the Bucs knew it was coming.
Only on Sports Grid. The brighter the lights, the bigger the stakes. Hunt or be hunted. Know your prey. This is a whole new jungle. This is The Lion's Share. Brought to you by BetMGM.
All right, Carver High, why don't you tell me what happened with that Astros-Twins game yesterday?
Yes, Astros beat the Twins 5-3. Your boy Mancini had a home run once again for the Stros. Scotty, he has been very good since going over there. Also, in the late night action, the Dodgers again beat up the Brewers 12-6. They scored a whole bunch of runs in the first inning. Brewers couldn't get out of their own way. Everybody had a couple of hits. Good night for props, Scotty, if you had the Dodgers and anything going. They ran it up on the Brew Crew.
Yeah, and I did have the Astros and the Dodgers last night and cashed those tickets. So it was a really good day in baseball. And the one thing that I mentioned earlier, the open of the show, was that remember that when the line went from 11 to 18 at Coors, and we thought we'd try to keep it under.
Yeah,
we never did. We never did make that bet. We wondered if we could keep it under and get everybody to let's get out of here and go to our next game type play. But it went to 20 because it was 16-4. It was crazy, that game. All right, let's shift gears now and talk to our NFL lead analyst, Warren Sharp, about everything going on in Pain Day. Warren, good to see you. I want to start with Tyron Smith's injury down in Dallas. This has to be significant. And when you think about this guy, I think he's played in about 13 games in 2 years. It's just another problem with Smith, and it can't do anything but hurt the Dallas Cowboys.
Absolutely, Scott. And the difference is massive when he's on the field and when he's not. The problem has been historically they couldn't get him on the field. The other problem, though, right now is the fact that their offensive line is in a worse state from a player personnel availability perspective. They lost Lael Collins in the offseason. They drafted a rookie left tackle, but they've had him playing left guard this entire camp because he wasn't supposed to be filling in for Tyron Smith at left tackle this season until this injury occurred. Now they're scrambling with worse personnel overall to try to replace him. And the difference he makes when he's on the field, as I mentioned, is massive. I mean, this team, if you look at the run game and the pass game, two separate games, when I like to study both of them, I want to focus on early downs in the first three quarters. And the reason is I want to get rid of garbage time in the fourth quarter where you're playing to the scoreboard. I want to focus on what the coach's strategies are specifically on early downs in those first three quarters. This run game, Scott, when they hand the ball off to a running back over the last 3 seasons and Tyron Smith is in the lineup, they have the number one most efficient rushing attack by EPA per attempt. But when he is off the field, they drop all the way down to number 31. I mean, I was thinking of taking a flyer on Ezekiel Elliott over 850.5 rushing yards because that's very low compared to what he's doing and everybody's selling him. So I thought that there might be some value there. I'm completely not going to do it right now. This loss of Tyron Smith is massive, and it's not just the run game, it's the pass game as well, where Dak's splits are massive when you look at when he's being blitzed, how much pressure he gets, how efficient he is when he's passing on first down, how deep he throws the ball down the field when Smith is there versus when he's not. All of these things have massive splits when he's not on the field. I just worry a lot. And this was a team I was already selling before this news even came out.
So what are they like without him with blitz packages that are flying in against Dak Prescott?
Yeah, when he's blitzed with Tyron Smith on the field, they are averaging plus 0.23 EPA per attempt and 8.2 yards per attempt. When he is blitzed and he's not on the field, plus 0.23 drops down to plus 0.13, and their yards per attempt drops all the way down to 7.5. So they have a massive difference. Plus the amount of, one of the big things, Scott, that happens is Dak doesn't throw the ball as deep down the field. The percentage of targets that travel 10 plus yards greatly reduces when he's not on the field. And you think about this offense, and they already lost Amari Cooper this offseason. He's now in Cleveland. And then they had Michael Gallup get injured. And then their number 3, Washington, is down. So they're scrambling. I mean, CeeDee Lamb might be a great bet to lead the NFL in receptions this season. I want to say it's like 17-1 because of how much they're going to have to throw him the ball and the game state that this offense and this team in general might be in, because I don't think they're going to be leading in as many games. I mean, this was a team, Scott, earlier this offseason, I bet Dallas under 10.5. I bet the Philadelphia Eagles to win the division. Numbers were much better than what they currently are, but I still see value in these current numbers because of how massive this loss was. I just don't think enough people are accounting for and factoring that into their calculus.
Yeah, I think that's a more genius way of looking at it in terms of the way you're analyzing it is different than everyone else is talking. No one's ever won 2 in a row in the NFC East title-wise and since blah, blah, blah. And that's all I ever hear. But you're looking at it from a different perspective, which I appreciate and respect. How much does it change anything for their chances, even though you were already on Philly? What does this do to them now with all the people that thought they weren't going to win the East anyway? I actually thought that they had a very good chance to win the East. I still think they're a dangerous team.
Look, I'll tell you this. I'll just peel back the curtain and talk a little behind the scenes. I mean, I already gave out and bet plus 190 on the Eagles to win the East because I wanted to sell the Cowboys. You can sell them directly by betting their win total under. You can also sell them indirectly by betting somebody else to win their division. And that we bet it both ways. But last night, after I saw this news, we were scrambling at 12:30 a.m., at 1 a.m. to go out there and find the best numbers we could get on the Philadelphia Eagles to win this division, and it was at plus 170, and we were betting that. It's down to plus 160. I would still bet plus 160, Scott. I think the Eagles have more upside. I really do look at this division as a 2-horse race. A lot of divisions aren't necessarily like that, but you have Washington and you have the Giants, and both of those teams I just don't think have the complete units to win this division. To me, it was the Cowboys or the Eagles, and I thought the Eagles should not be plus 190. I thought they had a much better shot. And even at plus 160, which is where I'm seeing the odds currently as we're speaking, I still think that there's value on the Eagles.
Warren Sharp with us, our lead analyst on Sports Grid. So a lot of people think, with Jalen Hurts, they're like, oh, it's make or break time for Jalen Hurts. He's got to show the Eagles that he's the man, and he's got to really come up big this year. That's all you ever hear about. They couldn't, 5 games they couldn't win at the Link at the start of last season. What makes you so confident in the Philadelphia Eagles when so many people doubt their quarterback?
Well, look, their quarterback still needs to prove himself. This team was 1-7 last season against teams with a winning record. I think it was kind of lucky that they ended up making it into the postseason. But what I don't think a lot of people realize is the presence that A.J. Brown is going to bring. I mean, their number one wide receiver last season was a true rookie. Right? Like they didn't have any other receivers behind him even. This team's second most targeted player was their tight end, Dallas Goedert, and their third most targeted player, I believe, was their running back. So this team did not have like solid receiving core. Just like not quite as strong, but close to it, like Tyreek Hill when he steps out on the field. When A.J. Brown steps out on that field, defenses have to account for it. They have to adjust. I do not think that we're going to see the Philadelphia Eagles run the ball at such a high rate as they close the 2021 season. I think they're going to be much more balanced. I think the pre-snap looks that Jalen Hurts is going to get this season are going to be vastly different from what he was getting last season with the way the defenses are going to have to account for A.J. Brown on the field. And I think they're going to have opportunities to have plus upside to Dallas Goedert to get all these other receivers involved. Plus their run game is still going to be good. And whenever you have a running quarterback with a threat to get that first down on a third down or drop back to pass on the first down, and if the defense has figured it out, has, got a step ahead of you, boom, he can take off and run the football there and turn what might otherwise be an incompletion or a sack into a positive gain, set you up for second and short potentially. And these are things that not as many quarterbacks around the league are capable of doing. So I like the Eagles, but more so because I dislike the Cowboys, I think they've got a shot. The Eagles have been able to deal with Washington in this division. They have been able to deal with the other teams, but they've struggled to deal with the Dallas Cowboys. They always seem to lose to the Cowboys. And because I saw the Cowboys struggling this offseason, in my opinion, that just makes it so much easier for the Eagles to win this division.
Does Dallas get a wild card?
There are odds out there that Dallas misses the playoffs entirely. The early reports that were coming out around 12:30 and 1 a.m. was that Tyron Smith might be back in December. But Jerry Jones came out and had a press conference and was like, well, if we get him back by the same time we had him when we played the San Francisco 49ers in the postseason, which was when we might get him back at full strength, we'll be able to beat the 49ers this year. Well, that's not till mid-January, which means he might miss the entire regular season. I think that the Cowboys, the NFC is so weak, Scott, that might be their ability to win and get into the wild card. I'm not placing odds that they're going to miss the playoffs, although I think it's over plus 200 that you could bet Cowboys to miss the playoffs. But I'm certainly not going to have any type of futures at all on the Dallas Cowboys. We already saw week 1, very, very sharp move on the under Tampa Bay versus Dallas. It was at 52.5 some spots, all the way down to 50 right now. Both of those offensive lines are in shambles. Dallas is in trouble this season, and it's going to start right out the gates.
Wow. And I loved your piece on teams that make 2 more explosive gains of 15 plus yards when they're against their opponent in the first 3 quarters. They win 75% of their games.
Yeah, it's a balancing act, Scott, between early down efficiency. We want to be efficient to bypass third downs with having explosive gains down the field to score points. When you get 1 explosive gain on a drive, you score points 55% of the time. No explosive gains, only 5%. So we got to figure out how to balance explosive gains with early down efficiency.
I love it. Warren, you're the man. It's always great having you on Coast to Coast, filling our heads up with the skinny that we need to make great bets. Thanks, my man. We'll catch you again next week. I hope you're enjoying the ride so far on Sports Grid, brother. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the games tonight.
Thank you.
The Lion's Share, presented by BetMGM. The Early Line.
They sent out a Jordan Montgomery, who evidently is the best pitcher in baseball. I know it's the Cubs. I don't care. A complete game one-hitter.
And how about this, too? On the road in Chicago at Wrigley against one of your hated rivals here. Now, we know the Chicago Cubs aren't having a great season by any stretch of 52-69, but isn't these are the type of wins that you need?
Only on Sports Grid.
You might be the next daily fantasy millionaire. No matter what you watch or where you play, learn from the world's best DFS players. Lineup building tools, expert projections, and advanced stats change the way you play the game. Dominate the competition. DailyRoto.com, the player's choice.
The morning after.
Why are you buying in on Dylan's stock for 2022?
Aaron Jones has been remarkably consistent for the Packers, and I kind of see him playing almost Alvin Kamara role in the slot, sitting about wide. And I think they're going to try and save him from taking this, ground and pound, and they're going to leave that role to A.J. Dillon to have this kind of more of a balanced approach because they need a little more consistency in their passing game. I think it helps that the Packers' offensive line is right now ranked 5th.
The Sports Grid Network. Ferrall, coast to coast.
Do you believe he has the stones to fire both of them? His dad would have.
I don't. I think Boone is safe, no matter what happens. Maybe if they don't win the East, but that's almost impossible. So I think he's safe. Cashman's contract, I believe, is up after this year. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I would think he'd be in a lot more trouble than Boone would.
The Sports Grid Network. Fantasy Sports Today.
The running back that appears to make the biggest jump maybe in the last 2 months, maybe in all of fantasy, honestly, Davis, is Dameon Pierce, who played for the University of Florida. And the beef that went on at Florida, Davis, is that people wanted to see him get the ball more. He really was never a primary running back at Florida. He's sort of a throwback guy in the sense that you give him the ball, he's never going to lose yards.
The Sports Grid Network.
That Rays lead is now 8-1 as they're just spanking the Angels in the 8th and the 7th. They added another one. Diaz scored on a wild pitch. And then Ramirez single to center. And now you get an Ohtani double to deep left center. They get a run in. It's 8-2. So Ohtani getting involved as usual for the loser Angels. It's either Ohtani or Trout or nothing. Meanwhile, the for sale signs out in front of the shop. So we'll see how long that lasts. And then the Cards, 5-2 on the Cubs at Wrigley in that long 5-game set. You get Goldschmidt singling to right, driving in a run, and he just keeps raking. We talked about him already with a shot at the Triple Crown. We've already told you, the MVP, forget about it. Are we ready? Let's see if we can get our main man, Cody Decker, on from obviously BetMGM's MLB podcast and host of Big Time Baseball. Cody, good to see you again, brother. What do you think of Goldschmidt and what he's done this year? And, we were trying to ride Austin Riley 3-4 weeks ago to try to steal an MVP from Goldie. But, boy, he's close in the Triple Crown, and I think they're already engraving his name on that award.
They should. They honest to God should. I've been sitting around all year long trying to tout up other names that had slightly longer odds, like a Mookie Betts, like a Freddie Freeman, like you just mentioned, Austin Riley, because I've been expecting one massive thing. And this is what we've seen from Paul Goldschmidt. Truly Hall of Fame caliber numbers, but he's always been a little streaky. He's been very good for a 150 month in August every once in a while to be, supplemented with his other 310 on the year, which usually ends up around 280, 290. And I was expecting that good of a year. Instead, the guy is just not stopping. You ain't lying, Scotty, dude. Give this guy the award. He is killing it. He is the reason this team is where he's at. And not to mention that, not just him, Nolan Arenado is another guy in that lineup who I think should also be in the conversation for MVP. But unfortunately, he's got to share a lineup with that stud.
Yeah, he raked the other night, hit one out, and I mean, they're just killing it. Pujols has been hitting home runs left and right. The guy I want you to tell me your thoughts on is Jordan Montgomery, though. How about this guy? He was ready to see a shrink after they traded him to St. Louis because he was so bummed out leaving the Bronx. But I always said on this show, listen, St. Louis is just an incredible baseball town. Sold out every night. They win championships. Easy press there. They get along with them. There's no one attacking them. The guy's 4-0 with an 0.35 ERA. He's been a freak.
It's been awesome to see, hasn't it? And quite frankly, the I wouldn't say the fleecing of the Yankees, because you got to understand one thing. There was another deal that was supposed to happen for the Yankees in moving Jordan Montgomery. They were thinking they were going to get the upgrade from the Marlins in Pablo Lopez. The moment that fell through, they got left holding the bag. Now, they went and got their hands on Frankie Montas, who has done a decent job as of late. His first two starts, not quite what they wanted it to be. But yeah, man, Jordan Montgomery, that's going to end up hurting the Yankees in the future. I don't know if it's going to hurt them this October, but at some point, that's going to hurt them.
Yeah, I mean, I thought finally Montas looked decent the other night in the second game of the Subway. At least he went deeper and had better control, didn't give up all the runs, didn't give up all the hits and walks. He looked so bad. But there was talk of there was a passing in his family, and then they made him move and live out of bag. Now he seemed to have settled in. But now you hear that Nasty is down with a groin as they head to the Ashtray in Oakland, where they're going to play that Florida State League team, the A's, for the next 4 nights. They get Stanton back. How much does it hurt him losing Nasty? And they always, as you know, Cody, they always suck on the West Coast. It's the most unbelievable thing when they lose to the A's and Angels every time they go out there.
They better not lose to the A's. Not this A's. This A's is a truly big dumpster fire. Like you mentioned, Florida State League team would be honestly being kind of nice to this Oakland A's team. And they're not going to face Cole Irvin, dude. Cole Irvin just threw the other day and absolutely carved. If they're not facing, he looked real good. And if they're not facing Cole Irvin, there is no excuse for this team not to put up 20 runs a game. What the best pitcher they're going to face is Caprillion. And I like Caprillion. Not that much.
Yeah, I bet on Irvin the other night, and he got it done. And that was after what? The Marlins, I think, had beat him a couple games. But he came in and did his job. Again, that guy's been pitching great lately. What do you think of, while I'm on the mention of the Angels, I had mentioned they're getting their ass beat again today. And we know Artie Moreno looks like he's going to sell the team. It's worth over $2 billion. Everyone hopes that he sells the team. He probably will. What a disaster that team. It's just and do you remember the way they started this year? Everybody got all high on them in the first month, and then they're back to sucking again. They're the mayor of Suckville.
It's been brutal to watch. Just a truly hamstrung front office from the get-go. This current front office, by the way, Perry Manayasin is a very smart man. He's a very smart baseball man, came from the Atlanta Braves, brought in a really good staff around him, and it's very clear that he's put in a position that he is not going to be able to make this team win. Look what they're spending their money on. Anthony Rendon, Ohtani, Trout. Yeah, these are 3 of the top best players in baseball, but you might need a pitching staff at some point. They have the worst developmental system in all of Major League Baseball. They haven't had a single decent arm in years. They're terrible. They are terrible and years away from actually competing, and it's going to take a lot. And quite frankly, I'm a little sad for Perry Manayasin because odds are they're going to bring in a new GM, whoever's going to become this new owner of the team, which sucks because Perry has a chance to really do something special here. If Perry had his way, I don't think Ohtani would be currently be an Angel as we speak, and that entire farm system would be replenished.
So Cody Deckerwood is badass. So we had the Yankees going A's, Angels. Then they go to Tampa. Now Tampa's rolling, as we said today. They're going to sweep them. There's 7 back. Carver High gets sick to his stomach when he thinks of the Rays with a single here, bunt there, error here, single there, just finding ways to win every single day. How much of a problem are they going to be for the Yankees at the end of this long trip and over the next 40 games, which is going to determine this thing?
Not just them. I'd also watch out for the Blue Jays, who are on an absolute heater as we speak, too. It's problematic for the Yankees because this was a team looking at a 15 game lead in their division. Now you got 2 teams that are starting to nip at the heels. Now, the Yankees should win this division by double digits. They're going over to the West Coast. They should dominate the West Coast, with the exception if they do run into the Seattle Mariners. But are they playing the Mariners on this trip?
No.
Thank God there is no excuse at all. If the Rays or Blue Jays catch them, man, you gotta start all over again in the Bronx, man. This can't happen. This team needs to win this division and win this division handedly. Quite frankly, I'm not sold entirely that this team would be benefited by having the best record in the American League, though. I think it'd be best if the Astros did that and took the bye. I don't think the Yankees would survive a bye.
Fair enough. Hey, what do you think of that Cleveland-Seattle series getting started? It's going to give us a nice showcase. They might even meet in the playoffs.
Yeah, I've been very big on Seattle all year long, including that really stumble out the gate start they had. This is a team that I do think can go deep into October if they are healthy. Julio Rodriguez got to do his thing. Ty France has got to do his thing. And quite frankly, and this is the biggest part, and I know they got their hands on Castillo. I know Logan, his last name will come to me at some point. Logan Gilbert's been having a monster year, but man, Robbie Ray needs to be Robbie Ray again. Robbie Ray, if they can get Robbie Ray back to where he once was, this guy can carry this team deep into October. And that's something we desperately need to see. As a 90s kid that played Ken Griffey Jr. slugfest on a daily basis, left, right, left, guaranteed home run for Ken Griffey Jr. I am a Seattle guy. Only been there twice, but I love me some Seattle. 90s kid.
Yeah. Hey, look, I thought he looked really good the other day. He looked like his old self to me in his last several starts, to be honest with you. Let's talk about the Phillies getting Bryce Harper back. He was, raking in Lehigh. Looks like he's going to come back either tonight or tomorrow, more likely tomorrow, but they held down the fort when he was out. Castellanos started hitting. Real Muto knocked one out last night. They keep winning. They've got the pitching. Syndergaard's made him even tougher. What do you think Bryce's comeback does for the Phillies here?
You're adding a 2-time MVP to a team that is streaking right now, and a team that I honestly think shouldn't have any business being in the hunt, let alone holding one of those wild card spots. What is he going to bring to the table? Arguably the best left-handed bat in the National League. That's what he's bringing to the table, man. This is going to be a team that is going to be dangerous in October. Their one Achilles heel is the fact that they are all allergic to leather. It's the worst defensive team I've seen at a major league level maybe ever, but they can slug it out with everybody and go toe-to-toe with them as good as anybody. And if they are hitting, they're going to knock somebody out in October, and it's going to be painful when they do.
So the Braves, here they are sniffing around the Mets again at 1.5. And Strider, I think, is going. He's been striking out guys. He made the Mets look, humble the other night when he raked up another huge load of strikeouts. Kyle Wright's a badass. Fried's a badass. They're doing everything right. They're winning again. They're a problem all of a sudden for the Mets. Are the Mets going to blow this?
I don't know if they're going to blow it. It depends what you see blowing it as. If you think they're going to win the division, hey, I don't think it's written in stone that this team's going to win the division. But if they don't win the division, I don't consider that to be a failure either. I think both the Braves and the Mets are playoff teams. They are 2 of the top 3 best teams in the National League. And quite frankly, neither of them are going to get the bye. The bye is going to the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are by far, not kind of the best team in baseball, by far a wide variety and margin the best team in Major League Baseball. They're going to get the bye. So one way or the other, the Mets are going to be in a situation that they're going to have to grind through all of October, as are the Braves. So whether or not you're putting a lot of stock into a home field advantage situation between the Braves and the Mets, I don't necessarily do. Both these teams can win plenty on the road, and at the end of the day, the Mets are starting a playoff series with DeGrom and Scherzer and hopefully a healthy Taijuan Walker. That is as good of a three-headed monster as anybody in Major League Baseball, and I haven't even brought up Carrasco or Bassett, who's been incredible for his last 10 starts.
I wouldn't be surprised if DeGrom no hits the Rockies tonight. I have to ask you about Buehler, who is getting his second Tommy John right now. You've been in the show. What happens to guys that have it done twice?
It's tough, man. One, you can come back from a Tommy John surgery stronger than you were the first time, but twice, you're asking for quite a bit. Is this going to affect his career? That and then some, because this guy was getting very close to signing a heavy, lucrative contract, and look at him. He's not going to pitch again until 2024. It's going to hit the Dodgers kind of hard, unfortunately, but everybody else has been picking up the slack. And keep in mind, the Dodgers, the most dangerous part of their pitching has nothing to do with their starting staff. In fact, once they get back Gratterall, Tyron, and they already got back May, this team can pitch and pitch and pitch, not to mention they score 10 runs a game. They are outscoring their opponents by 200 runs this year.
Are they really going to be able to send out flyers to their season ticket holders and fans in San Diego blaming Tatis if they blow it again this year?
No, man, I've already gotten into it with so many Padre fans. They are backing that guy like it's nothing. Everything's fine. It was all ringworm and whatever the hell he's claiming. No, it wasn't. God,
you got that right.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, it's a nightmare, dude. He got caught. He got caught. That's it. He got caught. I don't care what the reason was. He got caught, and he's going to get suspended. And is it going to tank the Padres season? God, I hope not. But, dude, the vibes are not right in San Diego.
No doubt. Hey, Upper Decker, you're the man, brother. Love you. Great stuff. Always fun having you on C2C, brother. Be cool.
My man.
Sports Grid, your 24/7 sports wagering network.
They play less games.
The early line.
Take a look at the top 4 seeds here in the Big Ten. They're going to play less.
Aaron Rodgers and
the morning
Russell
after.
Wilson. We saw movement in the marketplace like
Orlando
Fantasy
Magic.
Sports
the
today.
Cleveland Cavaliers are a little thin as well.
Newswire.
Minus 160 favorite on the money line today for Arizona.
Ferrall coast to
PPG,
coast.
that's where they win cups. They win Stanley Cups over there. Give me the
Game
Penguins.
time decisions.
kind of bizarre when you consider everybody is out for the Warriors.
In-game live, all
like
access.
I like Vandy against Bama. I think Vandy could win the game, take a 4.5.
In-game live, prime
It's a
time.
major at the PGA Championship.
In-game live,
All
overtime.
done before the final bet.
Get the winning edge. Only on Sports Grid.
Maurice Allen, 2015, 2016 European Long Drive Tour champion, 2017 world number 1. Me personally, I keep my game face on me all the time. Especially coming out of the bunker, leaving the range, or even leaving the course. What's your story?
Ferrall coast to coast.
Do you believe he has the stones to fire both of them? His dad would have.
I don't. I think Boone is safe, no matter what happens. Maybe if they don't win the East, but that's almost impossible. So I think he's safe. Cashman's contract, I believe, is up after this year. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I would think he'd be in a lot more trouble than Boone would.
The Sports Grid Network. The Early Line.
Football is always so much fun because you see new players literally every single year, and the anticipation is stupendous once it gets underway. And we're really close to that. A 12:30 game overseas this weekend between Northwestern and Nebraska. And yeah, you're going to settle into Connecticut playing Utah State with a 27.5-point line. Everybody gets underway. Big Ten, Pac-12. We cannot wait for this.
Only on Sports Grid.
All right, Carver High. Phillies did it again. We were talking about it with Cody, and you and I had Real Muto last night going. They keep winning, and now you're telling me the news about Harper is official?
Yep. Bryce Harper will be activated by the Phillies tomorrow. That just came down. Manager Rob Thompson said that before the game tonight with the Reds. So Bryce back. And look, I mean, what more could he do? Down in the minors, he had a game with 2 home runs, and then he had a walk-off double last night for them. I mean, what more do you need to see from him down there?
He's still in the minors.
Yeah.
He's playing the Pirates.
So let's just get him back and put him right back in the lineup, and away you go. So the Phillies, who have been great with Harper gone, give them a lot of credit. These guys stepped up. They kept winning ball games. They kept scoring runs. They will get Bryce back in the mix. Last night, Scotty, we said, play whoever you want to play. There's a good chance one or more of them could go yard. Well, JT Realmuto, he did go yard on NBC Sports Philadelphia.
JT slams one to deep left field. It's gone.
Guess his hand's all right.
Guess so. First pitch here in the home third. He crushed it.
You know, as you know, Carver, I go down there a lot. I might even go watch that Pirates-Phillies series. And I got to tell you, because I go to Atlantic City as often as possible because I have a massive gambling problem. I wanted to tell you that watching that guy have 5 at-bats and sitting directly behind home plate 10 rows back is better than riding roller coasters. It really is. I like watching that guy walk up to the plate and just absolutely get 5 quality at-bats. It's worth the price of admission. I like going to Citizens. I'm not a Phillies fan, but I am a Bryce fan.
It's a fun ballpark to go to, and he is
Good
fun
food.
to watch. You get him back in the mix. Good food, too. Get the cheesesteaks out there in center field, Scotty.
It's
Look
all
out.
happening there.